So, so far we have been reading that on the island of Lotus Eaters, Ulysses and his co-sailors have set off the ship, and there they were greeted by the inhabitants, means the Lotus Eaters themselves, and they were given them the fruits lotus, and the eating of that fruit has a miraculous lethargic effect on them, and they all started dreaming, a kind of daydream they were started having, and they have lost all the desires to go back to their homeland. So the Korik song, which we have started in the last class, they all started to speak in terms of peace, that what we desire is peace. Now, lo, in the middle of the wood, the folded leaf is wooed from out the bud with winds upon the branch, and there grows green and broad and takes no care. Sun steeped at noon, and in the moon nightly dew feed, and turning yellow falls and floats adown the air. So now they bring up the examples that how we are the only ones. In the last stanza we have read that why should we only toil the roof and crown of things, all the other things they remain at peace. So now they come to give instances, examples of such things which don't have anything to do. They says that lo, in the middle of the wood, there somewhere in the center of the wood, or planted between other trees, the folded leaf is wooed from out the bud. The folded leaf, which was in the form of bud, now it is wooed out. Wood means it is persuaded, it is coaxed to come out from the bud with winds upon the branch. Means the uh, coming out of the leaf from the bud was done by the wind only. No effort was being made by the leaf or the bud. मतलब जो प्रस्फुटन हुआ पत्ती का, उसके लिए बात कर रहे हैं. that the winds upon the branch, the winds were there on the branch, and they have taken all the toil to persuade this leaf to come out of the bud, but no effort from the tree, no effort from the branch, and no effort from the leaf itself. And there itself it grows green and broad. The leaf comes out of the bud, starts growing and grows green and broad, and takes no care, and it don't have to do anything. It remains there, simply hanging at the same place. Sun steeped at noon. At the noon time, it gets bathed in the sun rays, and in the moon, nightly dew fade. And at the night time, the dewdrops are being fed. Means dewdrops fall upon it, all by their own. The sun rays and the nightly dewdrops, all are being supplied to it by nature itself. No effort from the leaf, and turning yellow, and then means after some time it turns yellow, falls and floats down the air, and then after some time, means after a time being, it becomes old, it grows old, it turns yellow in the color, and then it falls down. Lo, the second example, sweetened with the summer light, the full juiced apple, waxing over mellow, drops in a silent autumn night. And another example, that look there, the sweetened with the summer light, the full juiced apple, waxing over mellow. Waxing over means growing overripe. It has grown overripe with the summer light, means the growing of apple, the ripening of apple the gathering of juice inside the apple fruit, all those things happens with the help of the summer light, and then it drops in a silent autumn night, and then when it becomes ripened, when it becomes juicy, it falls down in a silent autumn night. Now, why they are saying this thing, that neither the bud, nor the leaf, nor the flower, nor the fruit has done any effort in growing, any effort in living their life. What actually happens, that they remain at ease on their place, and there itself they complete their lifespan. All its allotted length of days, the flower ripens in its place, ripens and fades and folds, and hath no toil, fast rooted in the fruitful soil. They says that all things, whether it is a flower, it is a fruit, a bird, or a leaf, they all have their own allotted length of days. The flower ripens in its place. The flower, wherever it grows on the branch, on the bud, it ripens at very same place, fades and falls down, and hath no toil, and it doesn't do any labor, it doesn't do any work, it just remain fast rooted to the fruitful soil, it remain fastened to the branch, to the bud where it has originated. Means no effort, no movement, no labor, no toil is being put by these things to complete their lifespan. Hateful is the dark blue sky, vaulted over the dark blue sea. Death is the end of life. Ah, why should life our labor be? No, in a very philosophical manner, they ask these questions to Ulysses. Perhaps he might not have eaten the fruit so far, so he might be coaxing them to start their journey again. So they just give their reasons to him. They argues with him that hateful is the dark blue sky. To them, under the influence of that fruit lotus, the dark blue sky seems hateful, vaulted over the dark blue sea, and it has vaulted its arc, it has covered over the dark blue sea. Death is the end of life. This is the simple philosophy that we all know, that ultimately we have to fall down and cease. Death is the ultimate end of life. Why should life or labor be? They said, if we all know that one day we have to die, then why should we keep on laboring in this life? One day we have to cease, one day we have to stop, then why not now? Why should we keep on laboring until that time? Let's alone, let us alone. These lines they are addressing to the Ulysses, that leave us alone. Time driveth onward fast, and in a little while our lips are dumb. Let us alone. This is the time. It is driving fast onwards. It is moving fast. It is going at a fast pace. And in a little while means in a small time, in some years, our lips are dumb. And in a time period, in a very small time period, our lips will be dumb, means we won't be able to speak anything, means we will be dead. After some time, after some years, after some periods, we also have the same fate as is the fate of the flower or the leaf or the apple. So in the same manner, he says, we also will be dead. What is it that will last? So they question that why should we work? Why should we labor? Why should we toil? Because is there anything which lasts forever, which remains permanent? All things are taken from us and become portions and parcels of the dreadful past. Let us alone. All things which we have now, they will be taken from us and become portions and parcels of the dreadful past. Means all those things, all those things for which we are vying for which we are struggling, for which we are making so much effort, all those things will be taken from us and they will be a part of that past. Let us alone. So, don't disturb us. Please leave us alone. What pleasure can we have to war with evil? This is okay. It's a good thing. You are saying that we are having a war against the war. We are the crusaders of goodness. Okay, but why? What pleasure? What pleasure? What goodness? What enjoyment? What happiness we are having out of this war with evil? This is not our job to do. Why should we keep on fighting with evil? What is there any peace in ever climbing up the climbing wave? They said, okay, we may be doing something good, we may be having some noble cause before us, but is there any peace? Will we able to have any peace in the end, any happiness in the end, any joy in the end after climbing up the climbing a wave again and again, again and again? Perhaps no. All things have raced and ripened toward the grave in silence. This is that all the things, whatever they all have rest, they all have peace, they all ripen towards the grave, towards their end in silence. Ripen and fall siege. Very simple process. All the fruits, buds, leaves, flowers, they all have a very simplified way of their lifespan, that they grow up, they ripen, and then they fall down, and then they cease, means they are no more. Give us long rest or death, dark death or dreamful age. They says we want two things. Either give us some long rest, because we have been a long period of toil, we have a long period of labor, 10 years of war and then 2, 3, 4 years of journey. Give us long rest either, or death. We don't want anything else. We don't want only two things. Either allow us to keep lying here and eating this wonderful fruit, or give us death, dark death. Two things: dark death, death, which we don't know anything about it. That's why death is called as dark. That after death, what happens, nobody knows. Or dreamful age, or this age, this comfort, this peace, this restful status in which we are having a dream-like situation. Let us be here in this position. So the comrades of Ulysses, what they are trying to emphasize upon Ulysses, or to themselves, or the regions which they are giving behind this Lycurgic, so the poet puts it to the eating of lotus eaters, that we don't want to move any further. Why should we move only? Because all the other things, they always remain in their place itself, and they complete their lifespan, and the uh, lifespan which we are allotted, we also have the same end. Ultimately we are to siege and die. Then why should we keep on wandering every time, forever? Thank you.